everyone, it's Mrs. Hoover here with your SEL lesson of the day. Today we're going to talk about the power of flexible thinking or being adaptable when the world simply isn't. So before we get started today, I just want to remind you that this is all part of our social emotional learning unit that we're doing this year. And this lesson specifically has to do with our mindset. We talk about having a growth mindset, and part of that is being flexible and adaptable in our thinking. So today, kind of our goal is to think about how we can adjust and grow, learn and engage even when things don't exactly go our way or they're not what we expect. So flexible thinking is when you're able to think about something in a different way. And being adaptable is being able to adjust to new ideas or new conditions when things are not as you would expect. So I have a video I want you to watch for a moment here. These guys are given props and have to think about things in a new way time after time, every time it's their turn in the game.
Now, let's play a game called Props. Now, we're going to divide everybody into two teams. Ryan and Brad, you're going to be in this is your prop. You're going to this one. And Colin and Wayne, this is yours. And ultimately, I can use them as many interesting ways as possible. I'll buzz them back and forth. Ryan and Brad, you're going to start. Could you get the open door for me, Brad? My ice cream's melting.
First time in a Rhino bar?
Yeah. Dale!
Here comes the train! Oh no!
I'm just going to dissect the creature and woman.
How long have you been growing this mustache?
Surprise!
We're evil Smurfs, we're evil Smurfs. That's a big parrot, Carl.
You know, we really should have told the jester about the quicksand. Thank you. Okay, that's it. We'll be right back with more after this commercial on Whose Line Is It Anyway. Bye-bye.
So again, they were very flexible in adapting their thinking every time it was their turn. And you do this every day. You do it in your language arts class when we talk about past tense of verbs. It's not always adding ed, right? Sometimes you have to turn blow into blue and eat into ate. When you study for things, you'll realize that different people have to think about the material they're learning in a different way. And so not everyone uses the same study strategies. Somebody might like to have to talk things through with another person and say it out loud. Other people might like to take notes and use highlighters, and everybody has their own way of doing things. In math, you learn that in word problems, when they want you to add, they don't always say add these two numbers together. They use other phrases like how many in all means add, or take away means subtract. And then in real life, we learn how to do the things in different ways. And just an easy example is tying our shoes. We actually don't all tie our shoes in the same way. So you already know how to be flexible and adaptable to different circumstances. And we want you to apply that to yourself as a learner and just an individual. So here's a good quote for you. Whatever is flexible and living will tend to grow. Whatever is rigid and blocked will wither. So think about when something is flexible, it kind of just moves with the wind. It can just sway back and forth, and showing that it's alive. And then like a dead tree, if there's a dead limb, that's the first one that's going to come off in the middle of a storm. And so when we're rigid, we are more likely to not be able to sustain. So there's all different kinds of situations that you might have to use for flexible thinking and adaptability, some in your personal life or at home, some with friendships, some in your learning. So in your family, if your family has experienced divorce or moved to a new school or moved to a new house, or your parents have gotten a new job, those things all kind of disrupt the way things have been, and you have to be adaptable to a new circumstance. At school, you might have a substitute teacher one day, We're asking you to be adaptable right now with thinking about doing school in a totally different way than you've ever done before. You might have changes in friendships and just gone through just other things personally that cause you to have to be flexible and go with the flow and adapt to a new situation. So another video here that you're going to watch, and this one is about being adaptable and flexible, and it's going to give you a little assignment to think about at the end.
But let's focus on being adaptable and accountable. Adaptable is an adjective that can be defined in two ways. First, it can mean the ability to adjust to new conditions. And second, it's the ability to be modified for a new use or purpose. In this lesson, we're going to combine the essence of both definitions, since we want to learn how to make adjustments as conditions around us change. But we also want to be able to adjust our goals or our purpose as circumstances change around us. Adaptability also means to adjust oneself readily to different conditions, just like those maze runners did. So we want to be able to make changes or adjustments with ease and speed. How do we develop the ability to be adaptable? First, when you're learning something new, try to identify principles or concepts, not just the details of what you're learning. Many times, principles and concepts can be applied to more than one specific situation. You may have heard of a reality show on the Food Network called Chopped. In the show, 3 chefs have to prepare 3 different dishes: an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. Here's the challenge. They have no clue what ingredients they will use for each dish until the host opens up a basket with the food items. Oftentimes, these are not standard food items. For example, the chef might need to make a dessert with salty tortilla chips or create a delectable main dish with jelly beans. How are these chefs able to create beautiful looking and incredible tasting food with items that they weren't prepared to use? The answer is adaptability. They are able to apply concepts and principles they've learned throughout the years to transform the ingredients in the basket into wonderful dishes. Can you think of ways to use tortilla chips in a dessert with a crunchy crust? Could jelly beans be used to make a sweet and sour sauce for a pork dish? Adaptability means being able to quickly apply broad principles or concepts to new situations. So while studying or doing homework, always look out for general principles or concepts that might be used in other aspects of your life. Being able to apply what you already know to new situations is a powerful key to being adaptable. Do you consider yourself to be an adaptable person? Or are you easily frustrated when situations don't go smoothly? Are you better at finding problems or finding solutions? Is there a difference? This week's assignment. Think about and then write about a time when you were able to adapt to a changing situation. Try to be specific about how you used prior knowledge to help you adapt to the new situation. Otherwise, think about a time when you adapted something for a new purpose, and write down how you learned to use something for a different purpose.
So that's the assignment that they gave to us, is thinking about a time that we've had to be flexible or adaptable can kind of encourage us to use those same skills in a new situation. Think about how you've had to use something for a new purpose. I love the show Chopped, and they do always have to be inventing new ideas. So today, if we were together, I would ask you this following question as well. If you could make or eat one dessert for the rest of your life, what would it be? Mine would be a cheesecake. And then I just want to remind you what we talked about last week, which was stress management and recognizing when stress is just getting to be a little bit too much for us, and employing some techniques to help us through stressful situations, such as deep breathing. And those can actually also help in times that we need to be flexible and adaptable. Sometimes we just need to take a moment, take a deep breath, just refocus our attention, think about how can I adapt to this circumstance or this situation without getting myself too stressed and too worked up. And remember that you can always reach out for help if things become overwhelming. Your school counselors, your teachers, your families want to be there to support you. So when things get hard, just reach out. I hope that you guys have a great day, and we will see you again soon.